David.
I'm Jaden.
And I'm Joel, and we're going to give you guys your PWAY recap for past and upcoming events and projects. As you all know, prom is coming up on June 2nd, and the prices for tickets, suits, and dresses are going to be quite hefty. So there are going to be plenty of fundraisers and events to help lower the cost of your expenses. For example, the Key Club is hosting an event called Thrifting for PWAY Prom, a donation event where unwanted or old dresses, shoes, suits, and apparel will be sold and donated. The collection starts March 24th and ends April 3rd. The sale will launch on the week of April 5th. An assembly will be hosted on Wednesday, April 13th, where there will be more information about prom amongst the seniors.
During the month of February, the TV production and radio broadcasting classes had many documentaries about historic figures for Black History Month. I did my project on Maya Angelou, and some others I saw were figures such as Muhammad Ali, Kobe Bryant, and Katherine Johnson. So many important figures were represented in the projects. Some of the radio broadcasts were played on PWAY's radio station WVPH 90.3 to Pulse. Let's check out some project highlights.
I'm the one that's got to die when it's time for me to die, so let me live my life the way I want to. One of the greatest guitarists of all time, the one man against the government, Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix was born in Seattle, Washington on November 27, 1942. When he was a teenager, he began playing guitar. Eventually, he created his own band, the Jimi Hendrix Experience. He first became famous at the 1967 Monterey Pop Festival. Jimi Hendrix helped society because he changed the way people not only looked at guitar, but also how they looked at the United States of America. This was because at the Woodstock protest, Jimi Hendrix played the national anthem in his own style, with only a guitar. He showed the national anthem under a new light. He helped guitar because with his wild sounds, he made guitar become more loud and crazy. For example, the songs Purple Haze or Voodoo Child, which are both written by him. Not only will Jimi Hendrix be remembered for being a great guitarist, but he will also be remembered as an inspiration to many young musicians. Rest in peace, Jimi Hendrix.
You're broken down and tired.
Elizabeth Eckford was born on October 4th, 1941. At the age of 15, she became a part of a group called the Little Rock Nine. Together, they were going to be the first African Americans to integrate an all-white school in Arkansas. After the Supreme Court overturned the separate but equal decision made in Plessy v. Ferguson, they ruled segregation in public schools unconstitutional, which led the federal judge to order integration in Little Rock, Arkansas. As a member of the Little Rock Nine, Elizabeth Eckford was one of 8 brave kids who left Dunbar High School to attend Central High School, even after Governor Faust called in the National Guard the night before school to prevent the group from entering. The threats being received by the group were so extreme that the NAACP called the group the night before the first day of school to inform them to stay at home. The issue, however, was that Elizabeth's family did not have a phone, so she arrived at school on September 4th, 1947, alone. Although the Little Rock Nine received tremendous hate, they continued to attend school. Eventually, President Eisenhower sent federal troops to escort the group to class. Her courage, along with the rest of the members from the Little Rock Nine, allowed them to have significant roles in the civil rights movement, which was acknowledged by President Clinton when he awarded them the Congressional Gold Medal in 1999. Overall, Elizabeth Eckford was one of 9 teens who challenged segregation in public schools, which contributed to the diversity in schools today.
Welcome to a video about the life of Duke Ellington. The famous musician was born Edward Kennedy Duke Ellington on April 29, 1899, and raised in Washington, D.C. However, Ellington's music career began to take off once he left for New York City as a young adult. While in New York City, Ellington became a well-known contributor to the Harlem Renaissance. This was a period of time where African Americans reinvented music, art, and literature. Ellington reinvented jazz while being a regular performer at the renowned Cotton Club. For many years, Ellington wrote thousands of songs, which had a major influence on classic pop and jazz music at the time. Ellington even won various awards for his work. Duke Ellington's musical talent earned him several honors. Throughout his long career, he won the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, 13 Grammys, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the French Legion of Honor, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and a United States commemorative stamp was issued in 1986 to honor him. Ellington's career lasted over 50 years. During that time, he had paved the way for the many artists that came after him. His ability to break down traditional music barriers showed to other composers that it was okay to explore new genres and techniques. His musical success ushered in an era of musical creativity that had never been seen before.
Last March, Piscataway High School celebrated Women's History Month by creating videos discussing important women throughout history. The best way to honor women and all of women's accomplishments is to tell stories and honor them. We're going to take a look at a few of those now.
First off, we have Janae Aiko, who's done a lot for the spiritual community. She integrates that into her music, and she also produced many albums and novels that can help people find their higher self. Next, we have Brittany Griner. She's a black WNBA player, and she's the only person in the WNCAA who scored 2,000 points and blocked 500 shots. After that, we have Betty White. She won 5 Primetime Emmy Awards, and she also broke stereotypes and worked both behind and in front of the camera. Then we have Gloria Steinem. She's an American feminist as well as a political activist, and she was nationally recognized. She was also the co-founder of Miss Magazine. Next, we have RBG. She became the court's second female justice as well as the first Jewish female justice. As a judge, Ginsburg was considered part of the Supreme Court moderate liberal bloc, presenting a strong voice in favor of gender equality, the rights of workers, and the separation of church and state. Then we have Michelle Obama. She helped make school lunches healthier, which in return helped obesity rates decrease. Then Shirley Chisholm was the first black woman to run in Congress. Then we have Ellen DeGeneres. She came out on national television, which paved the way for children and even middle people, as in middle age or older people, who felt comfortable in their sexualities in their own skins. Then we have Kris Jenner. She turned a horrible situation into a $1 billion outcome in business for her and her family. Finally, we have Marsha P. Johnson. She was a black trans woman who was a force behind the Stonewall riots and surrounding activism that sparked in the new phase of LGBTQ+ movements in 1969.
February is the month where we appreciate the history of Black African Americans. Today, we are appreciating one Black African American in particular, and that is Andrea Jenkins, an American politician, writer, transgender activist, and so much more. Now, some of you may not know, but Andrea was the first Black transgender woman to be elected office in the U.S. on January 6, 2018. Before we go any further, let's talk about Andrea's origin. Andrea was born and raised in North Lawndale, Chicago. North Lawndale was a place where it was a low-income working community. For all the young people out there, let Andrea Jenkins be an inspiration to you. She expresses herself how she is and how she identifies as, and still pursuing her dreams in public office, which can be difficult for being both Black and a part of the LGBTQ+ community. I hope you got to learn a little bit about Andrea Jenkins.
Jennifer King was born on August 6, 1984 in Eden, North Carolina. She attended Guilford University from 2004 to 2006, and also attended Liberty University from 2014 to 2016. In December of 2020, she made history becoming the first woman to become a positions coach for an NFL team, and that team is the Washington Commanders. Before getting a coaching job in the NFL, she was an intern for the Carolina Panthers in June of 2018. Before coaching in the NFL, she coached in the Alliance of American Football and a player in the Women's Football Alliance from 2006 to 2017, which she played quarterback and wide receiver.
Malala Yousafzai is an activist for women's rights and education. She is from Mingora, Pakistan. She began advocating for women's rights at an early age of 11. Malala's advocacy began when she showed her bravery and stood up for women's rights in a place where women did not have much of a voice. She continued to use her voice and fight for women's education until the Taliban tried to assassinate her, and by miracle she survived. Even after the attempted assassination, she had no anger towards the Taliban, and she continued to fight for women's rights and education. She was able to draw global attention to the problem of women's rights in Pakistan. She also established the Malala Fund, which is a charity that gives girls an opportunity to achieve a future that they choose. For doing this and all of her other good deeds, she won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014, and she is the youngest to ever do so at age 17. Malala is now a graduate in philosophy, politics, and economics from the University of Oxford, London, and she is now 24 years old and is married to her spouse, Azir Malik.
Oprah Winfrey is an American talk show host, television producer, actress, author, and philanthropist. She was born January 29, 1954 in Kosciuszko, Mississippi. According to Forbes, she has a net worth of $2.6 billion, making her the richest black woman in America. Being the richest black woman in America comes with a lot of responsibility and pressure. The Oprah Winfrey Show was among the most popular of its genre, plus soon after she was the first African American woman to own her own production company called OWN. She has won a countless amount of awards, like the 1989 and 2005 NAACP Image Award and 2018 Golden Globe. So how did she become so successful? Even at someone early age of 32, she became a millionaire with a talk show, but she was able to become this successful because she was grounded in her own self.
Good morning and welcome to the PWAY News.
Hello all, we have some good info on our school spring sports. They've been practicing and getting ready to compete, so come on out to support them.
Boys varsity baseball will play on April 1st against Woodbridge High School at 4:30 home at Columbus Park. Come out and help support Piscataway. Boys white varsity golf will also play on April 1st against Colonia High School in the Raritan Landing Golf Course.
Now, for one of my personal favorites, the varsity track team will have their first meet on April 5th at Monroe High School, where it will begin at 4 p.m. The track team will then take on the relay at Matawan High School, where they will compete against many different schools in New Jersey. The meet will begin at 8:30. Come out and help support Piscataway. Thank you for tuning in and have a wonderful day.
Good morning, PWAY News. Welcome. It is great to see you all again. Now, let's get to the important. The Piscataway 5K Run Walk will take place on Sunday, May 1st, 2022 at 9 a.m. Go to www.piscatawayschools.org and you'll be able to register on Community Pass under Quick Links. So all you have to do is press the link www.pway5k.org before the deadline on April 18, 2022.
Good morning and welcome to the PWAY News. I hope everyone is doing well this beautiful morning here at Piscataway. I wish I could say the same for other countries in the world, though pollution has been festering through them like weeds and people have looked away constantly. Article sources say that in India, the third most worst polluted country, pollution in the air has increased to about 83.2 cubic meters. Articles report that India's pollution is mostly from dust storms, forest fires, and coal and wood burning. Their pollution has been so bad that India had to cancel using lights and close their schools down. With Earth Day approaching, we all need to be aware of these problems pollution is causing. That is why the Piscataway Cleanup Club will be giving out trash bags to people. The people will go around Piscataway and pick up any pieces of trash that they find. At the end of Earth Day, the people will bring their trash back to the Piscataway Cleanup Club at the Piscataway Police Department. Then the Piscataway Cleanup Group will take the trash to the dump, where the garbage trucks will take it away. Earth Day is on Friday, April 22nd, so come out and help free our community from pollution. And as always, I am Shamar Wheeler. This is PWAY-TV News.
Good morning, PHS. The weather has been all over the place, but our menu sure isn't. Our tasty meals have a wide variety to satisfy all your cravings while giving you the energy to hit the books.